1971. What if I told you that a simple $50 from 1971, one you might have tucked away in a drawer, passed through your hands at the grocery store, or jingled in your pocket years ago, could today be worth a small fortune? Imagine turning over an old Monticello Thomas $50 with no mint mark, only to realize you've been holding onto a hidden treasure all these years. This isn't just another coin, it's a piece of American history that collectors are now chasing with incredible demand. Picture this, it's 1971, a time when gas was cheap, music was rich, and America was full of promise. The U.S. Mint had just transitioned from silver to copper-nickel coins, changing the very metal that had defined the nation's currency for decades. In the midst of that change, a small number of Jefferson, Monticello, $50 were struck without a mint mark, a tiny detail that went unnoticed by millions. Decades later, one man cleaning out his late father's coin collection came across one of these coins. At first glance, it looked ordinary, worn, slightly tarnished, but when he noticed the missing mint mark under Jefferson's portrait, everything changed. That single discovery turned out to be worth thousands. The 1971 no mint mark Monticello Thomas $50 stands apart because it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, during that time, did not include a mint mark. What makes it truly special, however, is the combination of its transitional features, striking quality, and the rarity of flawless specimens. Collectors today are in fierce competition for high-grade examples, especially those with sharp details and lustrous finishes. Some have sold at auction for several $1,000s, simply because so few survived in perfect condition. The demand has never been higher, as more collectors return to the hobby seeking the coins of their childhood, and this one, with its quiet mystery, is at the top of that list. There are countless stories of people who unknowingly spent these coins decades ago, not realizing their hidden worth. One woman even shared how she used her father's old $50 at a diner to pay for lunch in the 1980s, a coin that, had she kept it, could now be worth more than her car. Moments like that remind us that treasures aren't always locked away in vaults, sometimes, they pass right through our fingers. And every time someone overlooks this coin, another collector gains the upper hand. When you pick up a 1971 $50, pay close attention. The first thing to notice is the absence of a mint mark. There should be no small d or s under the bust of Jefferson. The coin should feature the classic Monticello design on the reverse, crisp details, and that distinct copper-nickel sheen of early 1970s minting. If it looks unusually sharp, clean, or uncirculated, it could be one of the prized examples that collectors are paying top dollar for today. If you believe you found one, don't let it sit unrecognized. Have it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, or consult a trusted coin dealer who specializes in U.S. Mint varieties. A simple verification could reveal that what you thought was spare change is actually a piece of history, and potentially a financial windfall. Think about it, that old coffee can of coins in your attic, the change jar sitting quietly on your shelf, or the box of keepsakes you haven't opened in years. Inside could be a 1971 no mint mark Monticello Thomas $50 waiting to change your story. Every coin has a story, and this one could be yours. So take a look, your next discovery might just be resting where you least expect it. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the hidden history and hidden wealth that's been in your hands all along. 1972. What if I told you that a single $50, one you might have held as a child or seen in your father's old coin jar, could now be worth a small fortune? The 1972 no mint mark Monticello Thomas $50 is one of those mysterious treasures that has collectors across America searching through their change with renewed excitement. It's not just another coin, it's a piece of hidden history that's taking the numismatic world by storm. Back in the early 1970s, the United States Mint was operating at full speed. Coins were being struck by the millions to keep up with a booming economy. But somewhere along the production line, in the heart of Philadelphia, a small batch of 1972 $50 slipped through without a mint mark. These coins carried the elegant image of Thomas Jefferson's Monticello, a design that symbolized pride, heritage, and craftsmanship. For decades, no one paid much attention. Many of these coins were spent on groceries, handed to kids for ice cream, or tucked away in coin albums without a second thought. But now, collectors realize that those no-mint mark halves tell a different story, a story of rarity born from a minting oversight that turned ordinary silver-colored coins into national treasures. The 1972 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar stands apart because it was produced without any identifying mint letter. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, not even the P that later became common for Philadelphia. This absence means it was struck during a very narrow window of time, when mint mark punches were either overlooked or removed from certain dies. Combine that with its limited mintage and pristine examples being incredibly hard to find, and you have a coin that's commanding strong prices among serious collectors. In high-grade condition, this coin can fetch hundreds, sometimes even thousands, at auction. And the demand is only growing as awareness spreads. Imagine someone years ago finding one of these coins in their pocket change and using it to pay for a cup of coffee, completely unaware they just gave away a piece of American minting history. Many already have. Stories circulate of collectors who once had these coins but traded them off for a few cents more than face value, before realizing years later that they had held a small fortune in their hands. The message is clear. Every coin you overlook could be the one that changes your story. If you're holding a 1972 half-dollar, take a close look. The date must read 1972, and the reverse should feature Monticello, Jefferson's historic home, with crisp, detailed engraving. Now look carefully near the bottom of the obverse, right under Jefferson's portrait. There should be no mint mark at all. The coin's shine, edges, and overall strike quality can add even more value. Those without the mint mark, especially in uncirculated or proof-like condition, are the ones collectors are chasing right now. If you believe you found one, don't rush to sell it. Have it professionally authenticated by PCGS or NGC, two of the most trusted grading companies in the world. Their certification not only confirms your coin's authenticity but can multiply its market value, turning what looks like pocket change into a prized collectible. So before you spend that old half-dollar sitting in your change jar, take a moment to look closer. That small piece of metal might carry a chapter of American history, and perhaps a piece of your own past. Every coin has a story, and sometimes, it's one worth more than money itself. Check your drawers, check your jars, and who knows, your next great discovery could be waiting right under your nose. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight. 1973. What if I told you that a simple half-dollar, one that's been sitting quietly in your old change jar for 50 years, could now be worth thousands? Yes, I'm talking about the mysterious 1973 no-mint mark Thomas Jefferson Monticello half-dollar, a coin so rare and puzzling that collectors are racing to find it before it disappears into private collections forever. Back in 1973, America was still finding its rhythm after a turbulent decade. Gas was cheap, the TV played The Waltons, and a new sense of hope filled the air. At the U.S. Mint, millions of Kennedy and Jefferson-themed coins were being struck, except for a few strange pieces that slipped through the cracks. Among them was a 1973 Monticello half-dollar that somehow left the mint floor without the identifying mark of where it was made. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Nothing. Just a smooth, clean surface where history should have been. Decades later, one of these coins was found in an old estate collection in Pennsylvania. The owner, unaware of what he had, almost gave it away at a yard sale. A visiting coin collector spotted the error, purchased it for a few dollars, and later learned it was worth several thousand. That discovery reignited the hunt for these elusive no-mint mark 1973 halves, and ever since, the value has only gone up. What makes this coin so valuable isn't just its age or beauty, it's the mystery. The 1973 Monticello half-dollar was never officially meant to exist without a mint mark. Each coin struck in that year should carry either a D or an S. The absence of that small letter transforms an ordinary half-dollar into a numismatic treasure, a genuine minting anomaly that shouldn't exist. Only a handful have been confirmed, making them some of the most sought-after coins of the decade. Imagine this: countless Americans may have spent one of these rare halves at a diner, a gas station, or dropped it into a coin jar, never realizing what they held in their hands. Some may have even used it to pay for a cup of coffee, unknowingly letting go of a small fortune. Don't let that be your story. Every day, coins like these vanish into circulation forever, and each one lost makes the surviving pieces even more valuable. So, how do you know if you've got one? First, check the date. It must say 1973. Then, look closely beneath Jefferson's image. If there's no mint mark at all, no small d or s anywhere near the edge or portrait, you may be holding one of the few missing mint marvels left. The coin should feature the Monticello building on the reverse, with crisp details that have stood the test of time. If you think you've found one, don't clean it or handle it too much. Instead, have it verified by a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. Their experts can authenticate it and, if genuine, encapsulate it, protecting your treasure and potentially turning a 50-cent coin into a piece worth thousands. That old jar in your kitchen, the one full of forgotten change? It might just be hiding a piece of American history, and your ticket to a small fortune. Don't let it stay buried another day. Check your coins, share your finds, and keep the legacy of our nation's treasures alive. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the history hiding in plain sight. 1974 that most people overlooked, but collectors today are hunting for with passion and intensity. The 1974 no mint mark Monticello Thomas half-dollar isn't just rare, it's one of those coins that reminds us how history hides in the smallest places, sometimes right in our hands. Back in 1974, America was changing fast: gas lines, new leaders, and a nation still healing from the past. In that same year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Kennedy half-dollars. Most came from the Denver and San Francisco mints, proudly stamped with their little D or S marks. But a handful somehow slipped through without any mint mark at all. No one noticed at first. These half-dollars circulated quietly, passed through diners, gas stations, and Sunday offerings. Decades later, a retired veteran from Ohio opened an old cigar box and found one sitting there, its surface worn, but its mystery intact. That discovery sent shockwaves through the collecting world, because this wasn't just a coin. It was a piece of forgotten American craftsmanship. What makes this 1974 no mint mark half-dollar so valuable is its mysterious origin. Normally, coins struck in Philadelphia during that era should have no mint mark, but the 1974 issue was supposed to be consistent across all mints. The few known examples without any mark have been tied to rare die varieties, likely a limited experimental run or a mispress that escaped quality checks. Combine that with pristine condition, untouched by circulation, and you've got a coin collectors are paying thousands for today. It's a stunning symbol of how rarity and history meet in one silver disc. Many collectors regret not looking closer. Stories circulate of people who spent these rare half-dollars on coffee decades ago, unaware they were holding what could now fund an entire vacation or more. Don't let that be your story. Every time someone overlooks an old coin, another opportunity slips away, and these coins are getting rarer by the day. Collectors, investors, and historians alike are snapping them up the moment they surface. If you happen to have a 1974 half-dollar, hold it under a good light. Notice the year, 1974, and check below Kennedy's neck. There should be no visible mint mark. The coin should have sharp details and a bright silver-like sheen. If yours has that clean, smooth field and no mint symbol, you might be holding one of the few survivors of a forgotten minting mystery. The best way to confirm its authenticity is by sending it to a trusted grading company like PCGS or NGC. These experts can verify the error, grade its condition, and give you a certification that could multiply its value overnight. Even local coin dealers will be amazed if you bring one in, because few people have ever seen this coin in person. So before you dismiss that old half-dollar sitting in your drawer or coin jar, take a closer look. That unassuming piece of metal might not just be change, it could be your chance to own a living piece of American history, a treasure from a time when every coin told a story. Remember, history doesn't always live in museums, sometimes, it jingles in your hand. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the hidden wealth and wonder of the past, one coin at a time. 1976. What if I told you that a simple $50 from America's bicentennial year, the year we celebrated 200 years of freedom, could now be worth thousands? That's right. A 1976 Thomas Jefferson Monticello $50 with no mint mark is turning ordinary pocket change into extraordinary treasure. And here's the twist: most people have handled one of these coins before, but almost nobody knew what they truly had in their hands. Picture this: it's 1976. Fireworks light up the sky, families gather around picnic tables, and patriotic music fills the air. America was celebrating her 200th birthday. In the midst of all that joy, the U.S. Mint released a special set of coins, beautiful commemorative designs marking the nation's bicentennial spirit. Among them was a coin so quietly unique that it slipped through the cracks of history, the 1976 no-mint mark Monticello $50. Decades later, an unsuspecting collector in Virginia found one in an old cigar box left behind by his father, and that discovery changed everything. That same coin, once worth 50 cents, fetched over $10,000 at auction because of a tiny detail that most people never noticed. What makes this coin so special? The answer lies in its minting. Most 1976 $50 were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, each marked with a P, D, or S. But a handful of coins somehow left the mint without any identifying mark at all. No D. No S. Nothing. A clean, blank spot where history was supposed to be stamped. These no-mint mark coins are an error, a slip of the die, and that's exactly what makes them so valuable today. Collectors crave them, because every one of these coins tells a story of rarity, mystery, and pure American history. It's heartbreaking to think how many of these treasures have been spent unknowingly, lost in circulation forever. People used them to buy coffee, to tip a waiter, to fill up on gas back in the day, never realizing they were giving away a small fortune. But you don't have to make that same mistake. Somewhere in your home, maybe in an old coin jar, a drawer, or a box of keepsakes, one of these rare $50 might be waiting for you to notice it. Here's what truly matters: the date on the coin should read 1976, showing Thomas Jefferson's timeless Monticello design on the reverse. But the real key is that smooth, unmarked space where a mint letter should be. That blank area is what collectors dream of finding. It's what turns an ordinary bicentennial coin into a collector's prize, a piece of hidden history that carries the weight of American independence in its silver sheen. If you think you found one, it's time to confirm it. Trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and certify the coin's true rarity. Professional coin dealers or numismatic experts can also guide you, but make sure you use a reputable source, because these coins are in high demand and values continue to rise as collectors hunt for the few that remain. So, before you spend that old $50 or let your childhood coin collection gather more dust, take one more look. That small piece of metal might hold a piece of American history, and maybe even a piece of your future. Because every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story can change your life. So go ahead, open that old jar, check that drawer, and see what treasures might be waiting. And remember, subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover history hiding in plain sight. 1977. What if I told you that a single $50 from 1977, a coin you might have once spent on candy or tucked away in a drawer, could now be worth thousands? Imagine holding in your hands not just 50 cents, but a rare piece of American history that collectors are chasing across the country. This isn't just another coin, this is the mysterious 1977 no-mint mark Monticello Thomas $50, a treasure that slipped quietly into circulation, only to re-emerge decades later as one of the most sought-after finds in modern coin collecting. It all began in the late 1970s, when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of $50 featuring President Thomas Jefferson's Monticello home on the reverse. Most of these coins bore the telltale D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But a tiny handful, mysteriously, were struck without any mint mark at all. No one knows exactly how it happened. Some believe a mint worker forgot to punch in the identifying letter, others say a small batch was mistakenly released before final inspection. Decades later, collectors began whispering about the no mark halves showing up in old rolls, tucked away in estates, and even found in pocket change, a quiet mystery that suddenly became a national obsession among coin hunters. What makes the 1977 no-mint mark Monticello half-dollar so valuable is its sheer rarity and the historical quirk behind it. Coins without a mint mark from this year weren't supposed to exist, yet a few slipped through, perfectly struck and beautifully preserved. When verified, these coins have fetched astonishing prices at auctions, especially in uncirculated or proof-like condition. Collectors value them not just for their rarity, but for the story they tell, a story of human error, historical legacy, and hidden fortune. There have been countless stories of people spending these coins unknowingly, passing them off at face value for gas, groceries, or a newspaper. One collector recalled selling a jar of old change at a yard sale for $10, only to later learn that among them was a 1977 no-mint mark half-dollar now worth thousands. It's a reminder that history doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it jingles quietly in your pocket before disappearing forever. If you're wondering whether you might have one of these treasures, take a close look. The coin must clearly show the year 1977 beneath the portrait. Focus your attention just below the date, where there should normally be a tiny mint mark. You'll see nothing at all. The surface will often have a sharp, clean strike and smooth luster, with Jefferson's profile crisply defined and the Monticello building on the reverse standing out with fine detail. If you find one like this, handle it carefully. It might just be your hidden jackpot. To confirm its authenticity, you can send the coin to trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. These professionals can verify its origin, condition, and market value, turning your old find into a certified collectible that buyers across the country would compete for. Local coin dealers or coin shows can also help evaluate it, especially if it's been well preserved in a holder or collection box. Think about it. How many times have you sifted through your spare change, never imagining what stories those coins could tell? That old coffee tin in your kitchen or the coin jar your parents kept on the shelf might be holding more than memories. It could be holding your next great discovery. Don't let history slip away unnoticed. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the wealth and wonder hiding right in your hands. Because sometimes, the smallest piece of metal carries the greatest story of all.